I have always maintained on this platform that politics is a very interesting game. And at the same time, politics is a very dirty game. The 2022 general election is turning out to be a two-horse race between Raila Amolo Odinga and the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. But there is the emergence or the factor of Musalia Mudavadi. As a matter of fact, there are those around the president who had really struggled for Musalia Mudavadi to be supported by President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. But they've lost the fight. William Samoei Ruto has also strategically and cleverly worked so hard to ensure that Musalia Mudavadi will also be a factor in 2022 general election. As a matter of fact, William Samoei Ruto is working on a scheme which will ensure that Musalia Mudavadi and the ANC party will be on the ballot in 2022. So in this video today, I want to try and explain to you guys the strategies which the Deputy President Dr. William Samoei Ruto is using on Musalia Mudavadi and why he hopes that Musalia Mudavadi will be on the ballot in 2022. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support. This is the first time I'm sitting here. I came back to Kisumu, but I'll be going back to the village. I'll be here probably next week, full time now. But for now, I just branched here just to show you guys that at least now we are coming back. William Ruto is a very shrewd politician. The moment President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga entered into the handshake, William Ruto read their minds. And he figured out that Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga were going to scheme against him. So William Ruto opted not to support that handshake. And from that moment up to this stage, the Deputy President has been on a campaign trail up to now. In fact, if there's something you must give William Ruto credit for, is the fact that he's been able to campaign for 4 good years non-stop. I don't think even Raila Amolo Odinga can do that, but he has been able to do that. After that handshake, there was a fallout within NASA. So Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, and Moses Wetangula went their own ways. But a lot of things have been happening to an extent that they ended up forming One Kenya Alliance movement. But One Kenya Alliance movement has Gideon Moi. And Gideon Moi, in my view, is actually part of President Uhuru Kenyatta's schemes. So the Deputy President also understands the fact that Gideon Moi is part of the One Kenya Alliance movement and therefore will not allow Musalia Mudavadi to be the presidential candidate. And in the end, he will deliver One Kenya Alliance movement to Raila Amolo Odinga. So the Deputy President has been working on a scheme of ensuring that Musalia Mudavadi is actually removed from Raila Odinga and from One Kenya Alliance. And he has been using these strategies. The first strategy he used was the use of technocrats. He identifies some key technocrats who are anti-Raila Amolo Odinga and seconded them to Musalia Mudavadi. That's how Eliud Owalo, a good friend of mine, found himself in the United Democratic Alliance movement. Eliud Owalo was seconded to ANC party. The idea was that Eliud Owalo was going to rise to become the Secretary General of ANC party. And then these schemes were going to be executed from inside there. That never worked because I think Musalia Mudavadi was not comfortable with Eliud Owalo succeeding Barack Muluka as the SG. And then he also seconded the second guy, Barack Muluka. Barack Muluka was seconded to Musalia Mudavadi by the Deputy President. So when all these schemes could not work, the good thing they could do, or the only option they had, was to leave Musalia Mudavadi and go back to the United Democratic Alliance movement. That's how Barack Muluka and Eliud Owalo went back to UDA party. And of course, I'm told Barack Muluka is currently figuring out how he can join probably another political party. So he used the technocrats. but did not succeed. The second strategy which he has been using is the use of close allies of Musalia Mudavadi. And these close allies of Musalia Mudavadi are being used specifically to position Mudavadi's mind that he must be on the ballot if he wants to succeed in 2022 or even post 2022. And he's using several of them. One of them is Cleophas Malala, the senator for Kakamega. You all remember the personal assistant to Malala who passed on. He passed on after some meeting in Naivasha, some UDA meeting in Naivasha, and he was actually part of that meeting. What does that tell you? It tells you that Malala is actually part of the William Ruto's strategies. At one point, I remember former cabinet secretary Rashid Echesa telling or challenging Malala about his house. So Malala is one of them. Then there's Ayub Savula, who is also being used, and then there's Agoi. So these guys are actually being used strategically to ensure that Musalia Mudavadi doesn't veer off the path which the deputy president is laying. The deputy president wants Musalia Mudavadi to go straight line. So Malala is on this side, Savula this side. So Mudavadi cannot veer off. He must be on that particular line. So that's the second group. In fact, if you followed the OKA, the One Kenya Alliance meeting in Kakamega, was it last week? Jirongo was very categorical and very clear, and he sent a strong message to Malala over the same. So he's been using that. In my view, that has been a bit successful. The third strategy which the DP has been using is penetrating and using NASA core principles. There's one question which most Kenyans have been asking. Why is it that when the President Uhuru Kenyatta is planning something with Raila Amolo Odinga in the presence of NASA core principles, those deliberations are normally leaked out? Kenyans have been asking themselves, and they know the answer, that there is one NASA core principle. Let me name names. Moses Wetangula is always being accused of being part and parcel of William Ruto's schemes. And that's why his member of parliament, who was elected during that by-election, Majimbo Kalasinga, attended William Ruto's rally when the DP visited their area. But Gideon Moi is thwarting all those schemes. Kalonzo Musyoka is also not comfortable working with the deputy president, and that's why that scheme has failed. And then the fourth scheme, which is not used much, is the use of the DP's key allies. You all remember that, was it last month but one, Musalia Mudavadi attended some funeral in Nandi County. And the way that event was arranged, the list of speakers, the way he was treated by Governor Sang, pointed to someone who was willing or was already working with the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. So those four strategies are the strategies which the DP has been using to ensure that Musalia Mudavadi is or will be on the ballot in 2022. But the question which I know most of you are asking is, why would the Deputy President invest on such schemes? Why would the Deputy President want Musalia Mudavadi to be on the ballot? 5 reasons why he would want that. Number one is to split the Luhya votes. The truth of the matter is that the Luhya nation supported Raila Amolo Odinga in the last election, to the last man. You go to Kakamega, you go to Busia, you go to Bungoma, and the rest. If there's one thing which the DP would not want to happen, is the Luhya nation supporting Raila Amolo Odinga in 2022. The DP understands so well that the Luhya votes were actually suppressed in the last election. And because President Uhuru Kenyatta is not running and the president is supporting Raila Amolo Odinga, those votes are likely not to be suppressed. Which means what is going to happen is that they're likely to vote for Raila Odinga. If Musalia Mudavadi were to now join Raila Odinga, there will be a block. How do you avoid that block? Ensure that Musalia Mudavadi is on the ballot. So the moment Musalia Mudavadi will be on the ballot, it will mean Musalia Mudavadi will be getting his votes, Raila Odinga will be getting his votes, William Samoei Ruto will be getting his votes. So you deny Raila Amolo Odinga votes, Luhya votes, by sponsoring a candidate. The truth of the matter is that there are certain lawyers who would also join Ruto if Musalia Mudavadi will be on the ballot and Raila Amolo Odinga will also be on the ballot. But if these two will be working together, then they will conclude that that is the direction and they can't gamble. So the first strategy, the first reason why he wants this to happen is he wants lower votes to be split so that Raila Odinga doesn't get the entire block. That's number one. Number two, the DP is also keen on thwarting any plans by One Kenya Alliance movement to join Raila Amolo Odinga. One Kenya Alliance movement today is in a dilemma, a very big dilemma. Who will be their preferred presidential candidate? Will that person be Musalia Mudavadi? Will that person be Gideon Moi? Or will that person be Kalonzo Musyoka? Or will they be headed to Raila Amolo Odinga's camp? So one thing the DP is keen and working on tirelessly is to thwart any attempt of One Kenya Alliance movement to join Raila Amolo Odinga. The only way to do that is to identify a candidate in One Kenya Alliance movement. In this case, they have identified Musalia Mudavadi. Then Musalia Mudavadi is now going to play that role, that I'm going to be on the ballot. If One Kenya Alliance movement will not endorse Musalia Mudavadi for the presidency, Musalia Mudavadi will still be on the ballot. So Musalia Mudavadi being on the ballot will mean even negotiations will extend longer. That's the honest truth. And if negotiations extend longer, the better for the DP. Because ultimately, they will split, the rest might join Raila Amolo Odinga, and then Musalia Mudavadi will run for the presidency. That's what William Ruto wants. Because if One Kenya Alliance today were to announce that they are supporting Raila Amolo Odinga, politics is a game of perception. A perception is going to be created that Raila Odinga is winning more hearts. That's something the deputy president would not want to happen. I don't know what you think on that, but he's working on a strategy, elaborate strategy, to ensure that One Kenya Alliance movement is blocked from supporting Raila Amolo Odinga through Musalia Mudavadi. Musalia Mudavadi is just going to play rough, it's going to be difficult, and it's going to go his own way. Number three, he's also scheming through Musalia Mudavadi to frustrate President Uhuru Kenyatta's mission of endorsing Raila Amolo Odinga. The president has indicated that he's going to support Raila Amolo Odinga. He has invited One Kenya Alliance movement to several meetings, and he has told them that based on opinion polls, Raila Odinga is ahead. So support him. These guys are not doing that. Musalia Mudavadi is a problem. So how can you make Musalia Mudavadi be more problematic to President Uhuru Kenyatta? You must convince Musalia Mudavadi that he's the best. Ensure that when he goes to Kakamega, Cleophas Malala is well facilitated to organize a very successful event in Kakamega. When he goes to Busia, ensure that his agents within this team are well facilitated. So Musalia Mudavadi will believe that indeed he has the support and therefore cannot live for anyone. And by doing that, he's going to convince Uhuru Kenyatta, or he's going to have good reasons why he cannot support Raila Amolo Odinga. And number four, in my view, the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, is actually doing this as his first strategy to stop Raila Amolo Odinga from first round win. And I want to take you to Moses Kuria and his opinion poll. Moses Kuria's opinion poll indicated that if elections were to be held today and Raila Odinga and William Ruto are running, then Raila Odinga is going to win by 52%, the DP by 47%. But if Musalia Mudavadi and Kalonzo Musyoka were on the ballot, then the deputy president is going to lead, but will not get the 50 plus 1%. That's how you should look at it. And that's the honest truth. I've always maintained here that this country is likely to go for a rerun. And the deputy president's scheme is that should we go for a rerun and Kalonzo Musalia Mudavadi is a presidential candidate, during the campaigns, he's going to work so hard to an extent that these guys are going to fight bitterly. So it will be easy for Musalia Mudavadi to decide to support the deputy president for the presidency during the rerun. That is his strategy, to stop Raila Amolo Odinga from first round win. And lastly, the DP is also keen on sneaking in a few members of parliament from the larger Western Kenya. As we speak today, in Kakamega County, majority of members of parliament actually belongs to Jubilee. despite the fact that Jubilee did not get the support from that region. So the DP is still very keen on winning more members of parliament from that region. But the question is, how is he going to do that? Musalia Mudavadi running, it means if a member of parliament is running on ANC, ODM will sponsor a candidate, he will also sponsor a candidate. So votes are going to be split at that level. And if votes are going to be split at that level, the chance of his candidate winning are also very high. Rather than if they were supposed to, rather than if all these guys were supporting Raila Amolo Odinga through Musalia Mudavadi and the deep state. Because the truth of the matter is that members of parliament from Jubilee who won in Kakamega never won those elections. They were vifaranga via computers. And the DP understands this so well. But he needs the numbers. So he must ensure that Musalia Mudavadi will be on the ballot so that he will have candidates across the entire western region. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. And for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Thank you guys, and please don't forget to click the subscribe button. Don't forget to give this video thumbs up. May you have a good day. Bye-bye.